Okay, so we have talked about the Fabula, vintage 2019. Let's talk about the Nebula, same vintage 2019. The difference in between is that the Nebula is 100% Nebbiolo, what we like to call the Nebbiolo according to us. We decided to treat the Nebbiolo in a special way. During the fermentation, the harvest of the Nebbiolo is usually during beginning of October. During the fermentation, the wine stays in contact with the skins just for 1 week. This because we don't want to extract too much tannin from the seeds, from the skins, in order to have a more drinkable and more easygoing style of Nebbiolo without losing the complexity of these great grapes. After the fermentation, the wine aged for 2 years in large Italian oak botti of 1,000 liters. For 2 years, the large oak allows us to leave the wine a little bit more in the barrel without having too much oaky characteristic inside the wine. And after the aging, the wine is bottled and stays in our underground cellar for a minimum of 6 months. Vintage 2019 has been a good vintage. The Nebbiolo, this is a Nebbiolo that is intended to be left and forgot in the cellar for a couple of years, but it's also very good to be drank now. If you like a wine that has more like a kick, thanks to the tannins, you will like it a lot. But if you like more an aged Nebbiolo, I would suggest you to leave in the cellar for a couple of years in order to have more develop of the aromas and the complexity of the Nebbiolo that only when it aged can give to the one that you is drinking it. On the nose you will find aromas of strawberries, raspberries, a little bit of oaky characteristic, but not too much. Also this balsamic note that I've talked before, that is really typical from our Nebbiolo, like mint, eucalyptus and all this kind of stuff. On the palate, at first you get the acidity, the freshness of a young vintage of Nebbiolo. After that you get the tannin that cleans the palate. And this wine pairs really well with the second dishes of meat, but also really good with cured meat, salami, all this kind of stuff, but also really good with cheese, like very aged cheese. It's perfect pairing.